welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. It is just about time to work with your seed potatoes and get them to callus over so you can plant them. I like to use holidays and birthdays and dates that I can remember. So at the end of January, I like to cut the eyes out. And then by Valentine's Day, I try to make sure I have them in the ground. So I'm just going to show you this potato. Is a seed potato that I purchased, and this one is a potato that I already had from some that was in my pantry. It's already starting to get eyes on it. You can use these potatoes. It may not produce as many potatoes, but you will still get potatoes. The seed potatoes that you buy will definitely yield more potatoes. So you want to cut the eyes off of the potatoes and leave about 2 eyes on each piece. It should look about like a half the size of an egg. So you want to leave a pretty good portion on there. You let the potatoes callus over. The potato skins will get hard around the edges of it and on the inside of the potato where you cut it. Leave it exposed to the air and let it dry off. Drying it out keeps it from getting fungus and reduces the chance that the potato will rot instead of just sticking it straight into the ground. You want to plant your seed potatoes about 3 feet apart in hills or in a large container. And you will need about 6 to 10 plants per person if you really want to get serious about homesteading and growing food for your family. That's just in potatoes alone. You'll need that much room for 6 to 10 plants per person. And planting potatoes is fun for everyone because you always get a surprise when you dig them up. You never know how many potatoes you have hiding underneath the soil, and it's also fun for children to help you in the garden, especially digging potatoes. It's so exciting. Alright, I'm going to get right to it, showing you how to cut the eyes off of the potatoes. You want to leave a pretty good piece of potato. All of this will scab over. Watch out, Sandy. And that will prevent your potato seeds from rotting and getting fungus. You want to let them scab over or callus over. And be careful because some of the eyes might break off on you. Try to leave as much of the potato with the eye as you can. That way you get as many potato plant seeds as you can get. Some people do plant the whole potatoes, but to me that's a waste because you could get a lot more plants. And some of these potatoes will get more eyes the longer you leave them set out, so don't cover them up in a dark spot. You want them to go ahead and get the eyes on them so you can plant them. This one has 3 of them right on top of each other, and the rest of the potato isn't seeding up as much, but I see some little baby seeds. So I'm going to wait a couple days to cut that one. And same thing with this one. There's some little bitty eyes coming out, so I'm just going to let them set a little longer until it makes bigger eyes on it. And I will set these indoors or in my small greenhouse to let them callus over. For about a week or 2, I'll pay attention to the weather for the next couple of weeks. If it looks like we're not going to have any extremely cold weather, I'll go ahead and plant them. If I think there's another bad freeze coming, I'll go ahead and wait till the plants get a little more mature and hardened off. Gardening is not just during the spring or just in the fall. Part of being on a homestead is preparing and getting ready to plant your crops throughout the seasons. Living in the South, we can almost have a garden. We'll most definitely have something growing in the garden year round. The potatoes are lots of fun. Like I said, you never know how many potatoes you're going to find when you dig them up. This was a little tiny one. It's got a couple little ones on it, but I will plant this one by itself because, as you can tell, it's similar in size to some of the little pieces, which is about the half the size of a boiled egg. You don't want to skimp too much on leaving not enough potato because that's where your roots are going to grow from. And when you plant them, put the eyes pointing up. You're going to cover it with about 3.5 inches of dirt. And potatoes do not like a lot of fertilizer. You're going to hear other people may say different. You fertilize your dirt and get your dirt ready before you plant your potatoes. Do not add fertilizer to your potatoes once they start growing. My potatoes have done really well, not adding a lot of extra fertilizer to them. You'll have to do your own research and see about the potatoes, but they don't need a lot of extra fertilizer. All I'm going to do with these is set them in a warm, sunny place and let them finish drying and callus over. And within the next week or two, I will plant them in one of my raised beds. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, maybe consider doing so. It's going to help our channel grow and reach more people. So farewell, my Homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.